Hi everyone. Today may look a little bit different because I broke my tripod yesterday. So I'm just saying it might look a little bit different. But what I want to talk to you about today is embarrassing things that only classless people do in public, meaning people with no class do in public. Have you ever thought about that? Are you one of those? And if you are, why then I guess listen up, but here we go. They're rude to service staff, whether it be cashiers, waitresses, the service industry, or even like hotels. They act like they're beneath them. And so that is a major red flag that they are classless. They don't have any class. Classy people understand that everyone deserves respect. Everybody's journey is different. Job title don't give you status. So snapping your fingers and talking down to people or talking down to service staff it definitely shows a sign that you are lacking class, or whomever is lacking class. These people brag about their wealth and material possessions, whether it's they're dropping brand labels like what they're wearing, or maybe how much their car cost, or how much their vacation home cost, or maybe how much they spent on their Airbnb. I mean, they let their character speak for themselves, and it definitely shows when you're around somebody, when they take over the conversation and they just start talking about their extravagant lifestyle, right? So I'm just saying that is one of the clues that you could tell that they are clueless, okay, or careless. Constantly, not only constantly name dropping labels, but they also talk about everything that has a price, right? And not only that, but they talk about all their accomplishments and that they've done, or things that they've overcame. And so I'm just saying that is a type of behavior people really do have. They pick arguments in public, not only with the staff people or service people, but even with maybe a perfect stranger, or you as a friend, or if they're in your party going out, for some reason they pick arguments in public. They try to make a scene, try to put the focus in on themselves, berating a friend. And not only do they do this, but they do this relatively loudly, and they make a scene, right? And so like the whole restaurant can hear. And for whatever reason, mature adults with self-control know how to handle disagreements privately, and we learn to walk away and cool off before lashing out in front of an audience. But the people that are classless, careless, whatever you want to call it, they don't do this. And I'm not exactly sure of the whys. Maybe that's another video for another day. They also hog the conversation and never ask questions about the other person that they're talking to. They think that the world revolves around them. And so, do you know somebody like that? Yeah. They dominate every conversation and constantly talking about themselves and like I was saying earlier, their accomplishments or their dislikes, right? And while showing zero interest in the lives of others, even if that's their friends. Class is about genuine connection. When people have class, they care about genuine connection, making everyone feel seen and valued, not just themselves. And if they're never bothered to ask you about your day or your interest or your opinions, right? And so that is somebody with class that does that. They are terrible tippers, and I don't know if that is somebody who is classless or maybe a certain generation, but I know a few that they refuse to tip, you know what I mean? And I don't know, I just know, like, I knew a few baby boomers, they're like, nope, we ain't tipping. And then I don't know, the generations that's in their 20s, they're like, nope, we're not going to tip. And that, I'm just speaking on the few that I know. I don't know, that doesn't classify for everybody in those ages. I was just making an observation. Stiffing waiters and waitresses, arguing over tiny percentages, making a show of calculations to the tip down to the penny, is not classy. Tipping culture might be flawed, yes, that a lot of us can agree on, but the fact remains that servers rely on those tips, right? And whether it be servers or people that clean up your hotel room, or whoever your delivery drivers are, and if you can't afford a tip appropriately, then can you really afford to eat out? I'm just saying, some people, that's how some people view it. Okay, so generosity is definitely a basic human action, I think, or tendency, but people that are, how do you say it, that are, oh my goodness, I lost my train of thought. People that are careless, clueless, classless, there you go, classless, they don't care. They don't care, right? And so it's essential to having a shred of class. It's very essential to have some kind of class about you, okay? And if we notice these things in us, maybe we can make adjustments. So I'm not trying to point all fingers at people. I am definitely not, because everybody's journey is different. We've all been through different things. We all handle things differently. And our goal is always to be a better person. So these are traits maybe some of us all can work on as a whole, right? And it makes our society and our communities better. They have zero manners for basic hygiene. I know a few of these, if that's just not crazy. They talk with their mouths open. They talk with their mouths open. They are talking with their mouths full of food, and elbows on the table, burping and passing gas without excusing themselves. Maybe they're picking their nose or picking on their skin, or whatever their situation is. They just have a lack of manners, and this is a sign that that you don't have class, because you're not even wanting to put your manners out there, right? Because I feel like somewhere the majority of us was raised to show our manners, and then if you just blatantly disregard them, I'm just saying, it's definitely an identifier for people that don't have class. Also, if basic hygiene, like washing your hands, brushing your teeth, seems optional for you, that's a hard pass as far as having class, right? No matter how charming you are, it doesn't mean, because having class also means that you take a little bit of time for yourself, right? And like washing your hands and brushing your teeth, just the basic essentials when it comes to hygiene. Also, have you noticed people that don't have class, they are constantly stuck to their, or glued to their cell phones, and that doesn't surprise me, because they're not wanting to give anybody else an opportunity. They could care less about whatever's going on the outside, because like they said, the world revolves around them. Checking their phone mid-conversation, you have a conversation with them and they're just over here checking their phone, like scrolling while someone is trying to talk to them, or living their entire life through their social media feed is incredibly rude. And it is signs that it signals that virtual validation is more important than the actual people that are present, right? They rather have virtual validation. Also, I wonder with virtual validation, it's the wanting to be famous in that kind of sense too, the getting that recognition as well. So it's just, there's definitely a fine line there. Classy people know when to put down their phone. They know when to become fully engaged with people that are talking to them or people that are around them, and they understand that the world does not revolve around them. Also, people that don't have a lot of class, they are chronic gossips. I meant not like here and there gossip. You know what I mean? Like get the juicy 411. But they're chronic, meaning it's a habit. It's definitely a habit, right? Spreading rumors, trash talking people behind their backs, generally thriving on other people's drama, or even thriving on other people's downfalls, right? And that is not classy whatsoever. People with genuine class lift people up. They focus on the positive, right? And refuse to participate in gossip, especially when it's nasty, ugly gossip, right? And it's fueled by negativity. Classy people will do their best not to engage in such an activity. They also, people without class, they are snarky with their responses and about someone who isn't around to defend themselves, and so that speaks volume about the person, right? When they just feel so comfortably to say nasty stuff about somebody, that should say that is definitely a red flag, and that should say a lot about their person. Also, people without class litter without shame. They don't even care about the planet. Bink! There goes your water bottle. There goes your pop bottle. There goes a gum wrapper, right? Tossing cigarette butts out the car window, leaving trash on hiking trails, or just being too lazy to walk a few steps to the garbage can can reveal a fundamental disrespect for the environment, and not only for the environment, but for our communities, for other people around you, right? Because like I said, they care about is themselves. Classy people do care about others and the world around them, and they understand keeping shared spaces clean is a basic consideration for other people plus themselves. Plus, who wants to live in a garbage dump? Just saying, who wants to live in a garbage dump? Also, this is a trait that is also noted for people that don't have class, is they cut in line, whether it be at the stores or at an event, or whatever they do. They cut lines and they really don't care. Maybe they're even cutting lines at the DMV, ignoring the basic etiquette of cutting line, right? They just cut lines, so it's ignoring the basic etiquette of being out in public, right? They feel entitled. Okay, everyone's time is valuable, my friends. Everybody's time is valuable. So if you're classy, you'll understand that. If not, then maybe you're not classy, or maybe that's something you need to work on. And respecting the order is just how civilized societies operate and they function. Is order. Everybody needs a little bit of structure and order, and that's how our society works. And if that doesn't pertain to you and you need to get in the middle of the line, then, or in the front of the line, maybe that's something to definitely look back on and think, okay, how can I make these changes? Or pushing ahead like their needs are the only ones that are important and that matters. And this also shows lack of consideration for just people in general, for the human people. People that are this way, they give unsolicited advice, unwarranted advice, unnecessary. I almost feel at that point it's unnecessary. Telling new parents how to raise their kids, or offering armchair medical diagnoses like, hey, well, what you need to do is XYZ, right? Instructing strangers on how to do their jobs. They are their thoughts are better, or their ideas are better than other people's around them, and that doesn't surprise me, because we were just talking about how the world revolves around them, right? And also, if you don't have class, then you're not respecting other people's boundaries. The lack of boundaries and the arrogant assumption that they know the best in every situation, regardless of how old you are. You can be classless at 18 years old, my friend, because or you could be classless at 75. I'm just saying, not everybody knows everything. They overshare personal information with strangers. And that also makes sense, because I'm not saying it's bad to speak and go to groups and stuff like that, your healing journey, but just oversharing like your medical history with the grocery cashier, right? It's like, okay, wait, what? I'm complaining about the relationship woes to the bartender, or talking to the hairstylist, especially if you don't know them, hanging out all the dirty laundry in your household, and whoever will listen. That is a no-go. That's just something you don't do. And having discretion and being a little bit modest when it comes in that is classy, right? Not everyone needs the front row seats to your drama. And oversharing often blurs the line between openness and desperately seeking attention. Okay. They refuse to admit that they are wrong. And that doesn't surprise me, so I'm assuming that they have a problem with apologizing as well. Doubling down on the incorrect statement, even in the face of proof, becoming defensive rather than owning their own mistakes. They have this so-called fragile ego. So when your classy people have humility to admit, like, yeah, I was wrong, I'm truly sorry, I've messed up, yada yada, you know what I mean? Apologizing, striving to learn and to grow from their errors. Unlike people that are not classy, they're like, what error? Just saying, that wasn't me. You don't know best. So they make fun of people, especially for things they can't control. And I've had someone do that even with my own diabetes. Like, they don't have no control. Like, I have no control, but they make fun of me because they call me sugar baby, right? Because I was always drinking sugar water for my sugars always going down. Body shaming, mocking someone's disability, making jabs about someone's appearance, or tearing someone down. That is not classy, because what you're trying to do is make yourself feel superior, and that we're all humans, right? And so I think that's just plain cruelty. And so people with class, they embrace diversity, right? Lift everyone up, or at least we try to the best of our ability, and recognize that everyone has value, and recognize that like I always say, everyone's journey is different. And so and not try to point out people's insecurities, and we don't gravitate towards superiority. So people without class, they have a tendency to do that, make everything about themselves. So that's something to think about. And also, people without class, they are sore losers, and then when they win, they gloat like no tomorrow. Like, because when they win, they're gloating winners, like pouting when they lose. Or maybe what it reminds me of is like a tantrum, like a kid throwing, and they're on their stomach and they're just having a tantrum. And there's just sore losers, right? Or making excuses for their poor performance, or refusing to shake hands with the winning team. That's horrible sportsmanship, and that doesn't show class. And so a little friendly competition is fun, but being able to win and lose with grace is a sign of class, my friends. So, but I just wanted to bring this, because our cultures and our communities, and just seems like there's a lot we all face, right? And so I just kind of want to bring a little bit of awareness today. And if you know any other things that could be added to this list, let's hear them. Let's bring them out, because we do talk about hard things on this channel. And if you haven't joined our community, we truly invite you to hit that subscribe button and be part of our community. And I just want to say thank you, and I will see you on the next video.